You're dreaming of sunshine, zero state income taxes, and a fresh start in Las Vegas. But what if I told you 1 in 3 new residents are already packing up and leaving within the first year, often for reasons no one talks about? Before you buy a house, sign a lease, or make a $500,000 mistake, let me show you the hidden deal breakers and the real truth about living in Sin City. What you learn in the next few minutes could save you thousands and help you decide if Vegas is the right move for you. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your life, I'm here to help you avoid the costly mistakes that force so many Las Vegas residents to leave within a year. I'm Eric Hudson, local real estate expert who helps hundreds of people find the right neighborhood, save thousands, and uncover the real pros and cons of living in Sin City, including the hidden gems you won't hear about anywhere else. Whether you're relocating for work, the Air Force, or just chasing some sunshine, this channel is your honest guide to everything Vegas. No sugarcoating it, just the facts you need when you want more inside information, the real talk about Vegas living. Hit subscribe, grab your free relocation guide down below, and let's get you home right away. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't a hit piece on Vegas. This city has some incredible opportunities, and I genuinely love living here. But I also believe in giving you the complete picture so you can make the best decision for your family and your future. Let's start with the elephant in the room, housing costs. And folks, this is the number one reason I'm starting to see people leave Las Vegas. The median housing price has hit over $480,000 last month, which was June of 2025. Now, if you're coming from California, that may sound like a bargain, but here's a reality check. That same house was $118,000 just 13 years ago. Think about that. We're talking a 300% increase in just over a decade. And here's the kicker. Only 33% of Southern Nevada households can actually afford that median price home. That means 2 out of 3 families living here right now couldn't afford to buy their own home if they had to purchase it right now, today. Let's break that down for what that $485,000 house actually costs you. With today's interest rates, you're looking at about a $2,870 per month payment just on your mortgage. Adding your property taxes, insurance, HOA fees, and you're easily talking about over $3,200 a month. That means you need to be making at least $115,000 a year just to qualify. And that's assuming you have a perfect credit score. And if you have to use a conventional loan, 20% down payment? You got to have all that saved up. But here's where it gets really challenging for renters. More than half of Nevada renters are what we call cost burden, meaning they're spending over 35% of their income just on rent. I've had clients tell me they're paying more than $2,000 a month on just, a basic 2-bedroom apartment that, 3 years ago was $1,200. And it's not just the sticker price, it's the competition. I've seen bidding wars where homes will sell for $50,000 over asking price, especially during COVID, sight unseen. And if you're a regular working family trying to compete against investors, especially back then, and then these out-of-state buyers with deep pockets like from California, sometimes it can feel impossible. There's a lot of people who couldn't get houses back then. The state estimates we need to build 7,000 new apartment units every year just to keep up with demand. But we're nowhere near close to that number. So unless something dramatic happens, this affordability crisis is only going to get worse. Let's talk about something that catches a lot of newcomers off guard. I've talked about it before. Unless you're living under a rock, you know about it. It's the heat. Now, I'm not talking about your typical hot summer. Las Vegas regularly sees temperatures over 115 degrees. And that's what we call this urban heat island effect. In some parts of the valley, it can feel like 115 degrees or more, and it doesn't exactly help that there's a lot of concrete around here. And they're tearing out the grass. They don't want you to touch the grass, they talk about, I want to go out and touch grass. No, they're tearing all the grass out. You know, you move here in March and it's like, oh, it's so perfect. It's 75 degrees. No, you buy a house and then it's July and it's like, I want to get the heck out of here. I can't believe it. I can't even walk a dog in the middle of the day because the dog's got heat stroke. You know how dogs have to pant to cool themselves off? Yeah, they can't pant fast enough. Oh, by the way, did you know if you think your dog is suffering from heat stress and you like put cold water on them, you think that's going to help? Did you know that actually heats them up? Little known fact. But it's not just uncomfortable here, it's dangerous. Las Vegas sees more heat-related emergencies than almost any other city in America, bar maybe Phoenix or someplace. The elderly and people with health conditions are especially at risk. And if you're planning to retire here, it's something you absolutely have to factor in. Well, what about your electric bill when it's 118 degrees outside? Your air conditioning, it's not going to get a break. I've seen electric bills for me personally, especially before I got a high or one of those energy efficient pool pumps. And I have old air conditioners. They got up to $700 for me. So for the most people, $400 for a little 3-bedroom house, that's normal. So for some people, that's an extra $2,000-$3,000 a year. You need to budget for that. But the heat is just part of the bigger climate picture that you have here in Las Vegas because we're in the midst of a historic drought and we're heavily dependent, supposedly, on the Colorado River, which is at critically low levels. Lake Mead, which is at its lowest point since 1930s. And there's some real question about long-term water sustainability. Even though, they keep saying that, I'm just going to be honest. Most of that water goes to California. They tear out the grass here. You can't touch grass. But California, they get to touch grass all day long. But, hey, that's just one man's opinion. The city has done an amazing job with water conservation. We're actually using less water here than we did 20 years ago, despite having like 500,000 more people. But climate change is making the situation even more challenging every year. Some people are genuinely worried about what Las Vegas is going to look like in 20 or 30 years, especially as we continue to grow. If you have kids or if you're planning to start a family, this next section that's coming up is critical. Las Vegas area schools, there's some serious challenges, and it's driving some families away. In a recent national study, Las Vegas area schools are ranked the second worst in quality among the 50 largest metropolitan areas in the country. By the way, if you didn't know, Clark County School District is the 5th largest school system in the country. So, yeah. Now, I want to be fair here. There are some excellent schools here in Las Vegas. I put out videos. We got some world-class schools. But we got some, don't want to touch on them because, that could be steering. So we'll just talk about the nice ones. Like I said, there's some excellent schools here in Las Vegas and Henderson areas, especially in certain neighborhoods like Summerlin, like I said, in Henderson. But overall, the system is struggling. Nevada public schools are some of the most poorly funded in the entire country, and it shows. A lot of guys have talked to families who've moved here from other states, and they're shocked by the differences. Class sizes can be larger. The resources can be limited. And there can be concerns about increases in school violence and safety issues, especially since the pandemic. Clark County School District, like I said, it's the 5th largest in the country, and it creates its own challenges. It's hard to maintain the quality and personal attention when you're dealing with that kind of a scale. Some parents say they feel like their kids are just being pushed through the system without getting the education they deserve, especially in these lower performing schools. And if you're thinking about private schools, that's another significant expense. Quality private schools in Las Vegas can run $15,000 to $25,000 per year per child. For a family, 2 kids, that's potentially $50,000 a year out your pocket in tuition on top of your already high housing costs, which are going higher. I'm not just talking about your mortgage. I'm talking about your taxes and your insurance and everything else is just going up here. There are several families that are just talking about it like crazy. that the education situation here is starting to become their final straw, and it's making them decide to, do like that movie. They're leaving Las Vegas. They've come to here because they had some job opportunities. They thought about the lifestyle, but by the time they come to think about it, they had to think about their children's future, and they felt they had to make a choice. That choice was to leave. Now, let's talk about some of those hidden costs that catch people really off guard. Beyond the obvious housing and utilities, there are several things that can really add up when you're living here in Las Vegas. First, this is one you hadn't thought about. Your car is going to take a beating. The extreme heat is brutal on vehicles here. Your tires are going to wear out faster. Forget that 80,000 mile warranty. For that 80,000 mile tire, you're going to be lucky to get 3 good years out of it. Yeah, so forget what the Costco says, or you're going to get 3 good years out your tires because that heat is going to burn them. Air conditioning system is going to work overtime. Intense UV radiation can damage the painting and interiors. Tint. Make sure you get good tint with the metal in the tint. Budget an extra $1,000 or $1,500 a year just for the additional car maintenance. You're going to need it. Trust me. Then there's other lifestyle factors to consider. Vegas is an entertainment city. It's entertainment capital of the world. It's easy to get caught up in all of the stuff like the dining, the shows, the nightlife scene, especially when you first get here. And it starts as occasional fun. Quickly can become a monthly expense. You know what? There are people who easily, their budgets balloon $500, $800 a month. Without them realizing it, they're in debt. And speaking of entertainment, let's address another one of those elephants in the room, 800-pound gorillas. Yeah, you know it. That's why they call it Sin City. Gambling, it's everywhere. And for some people, it becomes a real problem. I'm not saying everyone who moves here develops a gambling habit, but you got constant exposure and easy access that can be challenging for some people who are, susceptible to the gambling bug. There's also the social aspect of a lot of people who move to Vegas expecting this vibrant and exciting entertainment social scene. But the reality is it can be surprisingly hard to build genuine friendships and community connections. The city is a very transient population. With people here, they come and they go frequently. So it can feel difficult to put down some real roots. And if you're not into the party scene, you might find that Vegas feels limited in terms of real cultural activities. For some folks, they feel they're limited on outdoor recreation, family-friendly entertainment. Yes, there are options, but they're not as abundant as you might find in other major cities. Now, let's talk about safety, because this is another concern that a lot of us think about. Las Vegas ranks in the 35th percentile for safety, which means 65% of cities are considered safer. Both violent crime and property crime rates are higher than the national average. Now, like any other major city, crime tends to be concentrated in certain areas, and the tourist corridor and many residential neighborhoods are generally safe. But there are definitely parts of Las Vegas where you need to be more cautious, especially at night. I've gotten myself in trouble about talking about things like shooty stabby town, but yeah, there are shooty stabby parts of town. Unfortunately, I cannot point out shooty stabby town. That would be steering. What concerns some families is the trend in school violence that's starting to happen. There's been an increase in school violence in schools since students have come back from virtual learning, and that's starting to worry parents, So we don't have that home training like we did, back in the day. You're not allowed to send kids out to get a switch, their own switch to whoop their ass. As I always tell parents, do research on specific neighborhoods carefully. Invest in good home security and be aware of your surroundings, especially if you're coming from a small town where you might not be used to urban safety concerns and considerations. The good news is Vegas Metropolitan Police, also known as Metro, are generally responsive and have many neighborhoods where they have an active community watch program. But it's definitely something to factor in your decisions, especially if safety is a top concern for you and your priority for you and your family. Now, after hearing all these challenges, you might be wondering, why in the world would anyone choose to live in Las Vegas? And you know what? That's a fair question. But there are still compelling reasons why hundreds of thousands of people call this city home. As a matter of fact, here in the three-city area and the unincorporated areas, it's a longer story. There's 2.1 million people, so people do want to be here. First, there's no state income tax in Nevada. For high income earners, that means saving tens of thousands of dollars per year. And folks from California, that more than offsets a lot of things. The job market, while challenging in some sectors, is still strong in hospitality, healthcare, technology, and logistics. Major companies like Amazon, Tesla, and Google have significant operations here, and the city is working hard to diversify well beyond tourism. A lot of people don't understand that SpaceX's logistics stuff is actually here in Vegas, believe it or not. There's a lot of stuff in Vegas people don't know about. It's kind of like on the down low. For entertainment and dining, Vegas is truly world class. You have access to shows, restaurants, experiences you simply can't find anywhere else. If you love that lifestyle, it's worth the trade-off. Here's one. This is a trivia you can tell out all your friends. Did you know more shrimp is consumed in Las Vegas than the rest of the country combined? That's one. Outdoor recreation is it's also very incredible. You know where to look. You got Red Rock Canyon, Lake Mead, Mount Charleston. You're within an hour of some of the most absolutely stunning natural areas in the country. And if you're into hiking, rock climbing, water sports, the opportunities are here. We even have skiing here, believe it or not, up on Mount Charleston. Many retirees still love Vegas, even with the heat, because of the active adult communities, year-round golf, the fact that you can live a resort-style lifestyle and you can handle the heat and you get your finances in order. It can be a great place to enjoy your golden years. And that heat only lasts like 3.5, 4 months out of the year. The rest of the time it's gorgeous. And let's not forget, no snow, no hurricanes, no tornadoes. The weather is predictable. Aside from the summer, it's actually quite pleasant the rest of the year. I wear these short sleeve shirts during the winter. Winters do get a little chilly, but you know, I got thick skin. It's called blubber. But if you move to Las Vegas, like most lifestyle decisions, it depends on your priorities, your financial situation, and what you're looking for in a place you want to call home. If you're a young professional who can handle the heat and you're not planning to have any kids anytime soon, you can afford the housing costs, Las Vegas might be a great fit. The job opportunities, entertainment, and tax benefits could outweigh any of those challenges. But if you're a family with school-aged children and you're on a tight budget, or if you're looking for a quiet and affordable place to retire, you might want to consider other options, or at least do some extensive research on specific neighborhoods and schools. You know what, I try to cover those here as much as I can. Just keep coming back, just a little mid-roll plug there. The key here is to visit during the summer, not just during perfect times of the year like during the spring when it's absolutely perfect. Spend time in the neighborhoods you're considering. Talk to the locals. Believe it or not, they will talk to you and open up. And really understand what your monthly expenses will look like. If you're seriously considering a move to Las Vegas, I've created a comprehensive Las Vegas relocation guide that covers everything we've discussed today and much more. It includes neighborhood breaks down, cost of living calculators, school district information, insider tips that can save you thousands of dollars and months of research. The link is down below. And in that pinned comment for your free copy, just go ahead and click on down there. I also offer free consultation calls where we can discuss your specific situation, your budget, and your priorities. I'll give you honest advice about whether Las Vegas is right for you. And if it is, I'll help you find the perfect neighborhood and home. The link to schedule your free call is also in the description. So what do you think? Are you considering Las Vegas, or did this video change your mind? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more honest insight about Las Vegas real estate and living. Thank you for sticking around with me to uncover the real truth about living in Las Vegas. I hope this video has given you a clear, honest picture. You need to make the best decision for your future. If this deep dive was helpful to you, I really would appreciate you reaching out and staying up to date on the happenings in Sin City, so you can get more insights about what Las Vegas living is all about. And make sure that you are subscribed tap that bell notification so YouTube will let you know, because we try to put out a video every week. Now, if you're feeling ready to explore your own slice of Las Vegas, or simply want to talk about through your specific situation, don't hesitate. Reach out for your free personalized consultation, call, and of course, that free relocation guide. All that stuff is down below, so you can find that perfect neighborhood for you. And for all my military brothers and sisters, you know the drill. Alpha, Mike, Foxtrot, to everyone else, I want you to thank you for being part of the community. I genuinely appreciate you. And you know what? We're going to keep them lights on for you here. And remember, there's always more to learn about making a smart move to Vegas. Go ahead and click the next video that's suggested here. I'll meet you on over there.